Well, it's Saturday the 4th of September. This is episode 2133 of 301 Permanently Moved.online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded and edited by me, at the JMO. I, personally, don't care about collectible JPEGs or their price. What I care about is the technology's possibilities. This week, at Is This an Art released 3 experimental NFTs that are in some sense alive. Primitive Tamagotchi on the blockchain, called Lifeforms.supply. To keep them alive, the NFT must be given away within 90 days of receiving it, an experiment in the gift economy and care. In the world of blockchain, I regularly swing from future shock to despair, but this week it's future shock. Loot happened. Loot is or was a smart contract that generated deeds to 8,000 randomized quote-unquote bags of items. The contents read like RPG text adventure inventories from interactive fiction. See also last week's episode. A typical bag of items reads like this: Grim Shout, Grave Wand of Skill, +1, Hard Leather Armor, Divine Hood, Hard Leather Belt, Death Root, Ornate Greaves of Skill, Stuffed Leather Gloves, Necklace of Enlightenment, and Gold Ring. So far, so good. An imaginary list of items as an NFT, you say. But what's the point? I've been talking about permissive IPs for over a year. Permissive intellectual protocols, new types of procedures, legal arrangements, systems and rules for governing intellectual property that will return value directly to its creators and participants. Loot is quickly becoming a proto-permissive IP. Straight away, people began drawing art of their loot bags or using AI to generate pixel art versions. Some owners of loot have formed squads or guilds based on the items their loot bags contained. For example, owners of Divine Robes, of which there are only 396, have set up their own community at divinerolls.com. Others have extended the ERC-271 loot contracts with the ERC-1155 protocol, allowing them to unbundle the bags into their constituent elements as separate NFTs. And as of today, Loot Monsters arrived with on-chain battle mechanics. Interactive fiction has arrived on the blockchain. What is happening with loot was described last year by Other Internet in their essay Market Protocol Fit. Imply the existence of a world, immediately distribute ownership, and community builds that world from the ground up. One of the most influential essays on me about the early internet is called Hypertext Narrative by Michael Joyce, first published online in 1992. He says the following: narratives create wealth, yet hypertext, thus far at least, mimics most computational systems in shifting and consuming rather than creating wealth. This is because hypertext thinks of itself to be structural rather than serial thought in space rather than thought for space. Serial thought, says Umberto Eco, aims at the production of history, and not the rediscovery, beneath history, of the a tempore abscissae of all possible communication. Hypertext, at least when it is seen as constructive rather than exploratory, as serial thought. Its mode of spatialization, Deleuze and Gujarati's term, is being for space, what I call constructive. A form of what does not yet exist, rather than being in space, or exploratory and colonizing. Like AI, its elder sister in this science, hypertext would like to claim its creative powers, but to do so, it must become the art it claims it is. On top of Loot and Lifeforms this week, Simon de la Riviere, founder of Unfrontier, launched a collective bottom-up hypertext storytelling project called The Linked Tree of the Logged Universe. What if Twine, but blockchain? Passages are NFTs and anyone can mint a passage and connect/link to other nodes. I think it's a fantastic idea. Very quickly, I think we'll see projects like Loot and the Log Universe merge with MUDs, AI interactive fiction dungeons, and DAOs. Imagine speedrun categories that generate the most or least value. Here's some more of Joyce's 1992 essay. Look, we want to say of hypertext. See this traversal, this web, this trail, this graph? No one has ever thought of this before. Look how, like pearls on a string, these nodes glitter on their path. But always, some emperor-baiting child within us will out. Pardon, she says. But why, if this is new, is it already there? Surely you mean no one has gotten to this point in this way before. Surely that is what is new. No, child, we say. You don't understand. The substance is an object of value unto itself. Then she asks the terrifying questions. Who is the author of this new thing? What will you call it? And where will you put it? For the reader of a technical communication, theoretically at least, there is some nethermost node, a gleaming target which represents the meaning of a text. This theoretical terminal node can be systematically described by both its location and its links. Even if the meaning is potentiated as an inference or discovery, for instance, every reading by every reader is thought to be anticipated by the system of the exploratory text. I don't know where all this is going, but seen alongside the power fandom phenomenon known as Blazeball, if I was Disney or a major producer/owner of culture, I'd be very worried. The generation and consumption of myth and meaning is about to have its Napster moment.